went, 15 games, $15. That sounds, less than 15. It was like $13.50. That sounds great. I'll go ahead and get it. How can I go wrong?
Buyer's Remorse.
Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Darren.
I'm Justin.
This is the amazing show where we play a game for half an hour times two for an hour. And why did I say half an hour?
Because your brain isn't working today. Half an hour times two? I mean, that works. It's 60 minutes, but
I don't know, man.
Sometimes I think that you just sabotage this opening.
On purpose. I need to honestly just cut and paste this from something else. Like, forget. Right, so we play it for an hour, and then it's a game that we've never played before, that we've bought, and because things get buried in our libraries, because we get too many games to play, and so I'll go through Justin's library and pick out all the gems that I think he bought by mistake, thinking that they were good, and then we'll find out if it was worth the money. So, I had no idea what you played this time, so this is going to be interesting.
The Moment of Silence.
The Moment of Silence. This is an old broken swordish point and click game, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
It's pretty old, yeah? I think it's 15 years ago, something like that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get into it.
This came out March of 2005. It has mixed reviews on Steam with just 67 reviews. It is $15 at base. I did not pay for that. I finally found where the bundle was that I got this one.
Right.
It was a Steam bundle. I got something like 14 or 15 games in this bundle for $13.50.
Well, there goes the $1 an hour.
For less than the cost of the base game here, I got 15 games. And I'm sure that was part of what made me want to get it. I know as well in the bundle were things like the Black Mirror games.
Okay.
Which are a bit more tempting. And I think that I was looking at those anyway and thought, oh, well, look at all these other games I can get. And there's Unwritten Tales, which looks okay, and a few others that look okay. I don't think that I even noticed some of these. I think I just went, 15 games, $15. That sounds, less than 15. It was like $13.50. That sounds great. I'll go ahead and get it. How can I go wrong?
Fast forward to 2021.
Welcome to the show. It is developed by House of Tales, which listeners of the podcast know they made 15 Days.
Oh, is this? Oh, wow. So I've been on a roll. This is your Oceans bundle.
The publisher is Handy Games, which listeners of Filling in the Gaps would know because of Safecracker and Neighbors from Hell.
Okay.
It is meant to be in the future, but boy, is it a future from 2005 that was envisioned back in 1995.
Right.
We're going to open up, of course, with a cutscene. September 29th, 2044, Brooklyn, New York. I don't know where these people are from.
Probably not Brooklyn. I'm guessing.
And not London, I don't think, from the 15 Days. Where are they from? Why don't they make a place that seems like it'd be right outside their door? Because then they might have a better concept of what it looks like. A man, we're going to find out who's our character, is looking through a peephole out into the hallway as a SWAT team comes in. Well, we actually have to watch the elevator number climb up to floor 23, I think it is. The SWAT team will come out, they'll storm the neighbor's house, drag somebody out as his wife and child holding a teddy bear watch on. What's happening? What's happening? And he's gone.
Right.
And that's pretty much it. And that's the main setup for the story. Welcome to the gameplay. Point and click nightmare. Once we are the character, you can walk out into the hallway. You haven't done anything. You can't really do anything. You can walk over to the neighbor's door, knock on it. She doesn't want to answer.
It's the SWAT team again.
Actually, there's no tutorial at all. There's no explanation of what to do at all. In the menu, you need to look at the controls.
Mm-hmm.
The controls tell you at least a basic idea of what you need to do. You can interact with something, left mouse. You can look at something, right mouse, which I didn't do enough of early on. You basically have to look at everything before you can actually interact with it, which is very frustrating because so many things are just intuitive.
Right.
The door, for example, has a little placard next to it and the doorbell. Even though I can see the name, they've made it very, very clear you have to officially look at the name before the name goes into your character's brain.
Ah, okay.
And progresses the story. Because I wandered a lot trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. I went in and out of the apartment. And here's the thing as well. You can run in the game, but it's not fast enough.
Right.
It would be better if they just cut to the next screen. Because that's the thing. You're going from screen to screen.
Right.
It doesn't flow smoothly. So walking through the hallway, say from my apartment, I walk out as my character. I'm looking at my character. It's not first person. So I'm looking at him face on. Now, if I want to get to the elevator, which is just a straight shot down the hall, I have to click closer to me, so like lower down on the screen, until the screen completely does, it switches to the next one, which is a 180 switch. I'm now behind my character, and now I have to get him to the elevator, but getting to the button of the elevator is another screen.
Wow, okay. The level of detail, Justin.
No, it's not pretty. And it just takes forever to get anywhere. And heaven forbid you want to go outside. Go outside, and luckily they don't make you go through the whole getting downstairs, going through the lobby. But once you're outside, you're this tiny little guy on the screen of a huge intersection. So you can see there's some sort of chemical or industrial area in the distance. There's a maglev train. There are taxis, which they call sat cars, nearby. Some sort of shop. But you're just a tiny little guy, I don't know, 2 centimeters tall in the whole screen. And you want to get from your apartment all the way over, as I tried to get to the sat cars. You have to wait for your little guy to go all the way across.
I'm getting memories of the Lions song for filling in the gaps. I don't even know if that's out yet, but it's like that.
Like what?
Like the Lions song map where...
This is way worse.
I mean, obviously...
This is
way
so
worse.
much worse. Lion Song was a bit more contained. And it was a map, and you're walking around the whole city. I'm just trying to walk across a street, and it takes this long. Okay. I'm not looking at the whole map. This is just the intersection outside my apartment building.
Okay. And you're tiny?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a huge panorama of this intersection with everything in the background.
Okay.
And then, again, for every little thing you want to get to, you have to do an extra step. So I get, for example, the SAT car. I walk up to it, then I get in it, then I have to look at the sat-nav panel to tell it where to go. It's 3 extra steps I don't need. Just get in the car.
Where to? Click there. Yeah.
I think it's called a SAT car because it's going to be self-driven using sat-nav.
Very futuristic.
But of course, my character doesn't know where to go. Where would I go? And it's so late. Why would I bother? I don't know, because I don't know what else I'm doing here. There is a hint system, but the hint system is worthless.
Okay.
Absolutely worthless. A little red running person icon will appear, but it appears your only choices of where to go, which it seems like the hint is just to say, well, you could go here or you could go here. Whereas I was following it as though it was an actual hint system. Get me to the next thing. What do I need to do? Well, you could go back in the building. Thanks. Great. Go back in the building. You have to watch the numbers climb up the elevator. You can't just pop out of the elevator.
Yep.
And then, where do I go, game? Give me a hint. Well, you could go in your apartment, or you could go back down the elevator. Well, which one is the right answer, game? I hate this hint system. It should not even exist.
It sounds like just a map marker of where your exits are.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I go back into my apartment. I'm obviously missing something. I've picked up this teddy bear that I'm meant to give the kid because he left it in the hallway. And like I said, you can go into the Smash apartment door. You can go through that, and you can knock on the door. The woman won't answer. So go back into the apartment. They've just hit every sci-fi future Blade Runner type trope with this character. There's a bottle of whiskey on the table. Oh, I could use a drink, but maybe not now. He's clearly going to be an alcoholic. I think he's got a kid that he can't see.
Yeah.
He talks about this apartment as though it's so bad. It's not that bad, but when you see the neighbor's apartment, it's like, how can these two places be in the same building? It's not very well furnished. You've got a bed, which looks okay, but it's one of those where it's practically on the floor, but it's not on the floor. Your bedside table may as well be the floor. It is super low to the floor, but you have a huge TV. So, I mean,
there you
what
go.
do you want? He's got room for a couch. He's got a computer that looks very 1995 computer, but meant to be in the future. Inside that bedside table, there's one drawer that you could pull out, and there is what they refer to as the messenger. The messenger is essentially a BlackBerry.
Okay.
Do you remember those?
Yep.
Except it has very limited buttons. You have an up and down button, a call, and a hang up button. That's it. If you want to call anybody, you have to find their number by calling the automated service. Well, I don't know. A woman's face appears. So I don't know if it's meant to be a live person, but the way she just says the exact same things all the time makes me think it's just AI, or it's meant to be. And maybe that's me filling the gaps for them and giving them a bit of leeway, but boy, do they need some. This first conversation with the info lady is so long, and just everything about this game takes way longer than it should.
I'm just trying to make a phone call.
But I haven't, at this point, inspected the door plaque. So even though I know the name is Oswald,
okay.
My character, Peter Wright, doesn't know.
Okay.
So I called her. I talked to her. Your only choice is to say, I don't even know why I'm calling you. I don't know what number I'm looking for. Or thank you, goodbye. That's it. Took me a long time of going back and forth all around. What am I missing? What am I missing? And finally, I did figure it out, I think 30 minutes in, where I started inspecting everything instead of just clicking on it. So inspect it, get the name. Now I can call the lady, say, hey, I'm your neighbor. I saw there's a problem. I've got a teddy bear. Do you mind if I come in? So, of course, the whole setup is to get me into the apartment, which I've been trying to do for about 20 minutes. Get into the apartment, talk to this lady. Not a cutscene, should have been. Or it was, but it didn't look good. But again, this apartment is huge. This is a massive, really nice apartment. Her husband, Graham, a journalist, was the one that was taken. She called the police. The police said we weren't there. We now have to call the police to say, hey, I don't know. He says he works for some sort of firm. I don't know if it's an advertising firm that works with the mayor or a law firm or what, but it's like, I work for so-and-so. Maybe I can find out something. But he doesn't use that info in any way when he calls. So he just calls, oddly gives his address. I'm Peter Wright of 32 Tillany Street. Why are you saying that?
Oh, that Peter Wright.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Has there been anything going on? No, nothing for a week. Oh, okay, goodbye. It was a waste of my time to find out what the lady already found out. He doesn't try to call anyone at work. He doesn't. Well, I don't have those numbers. When you look in the messenger, the only number you have is for info. Then you can call info for Mrs. Oswald's number. You get hers.
Yeah.
Then, surprise, surprise, you have to call the info to get the police number. And the police number? 999. I don't know that. I don't know that. And it's the emergency number. And the police officer keeps saying, oh, this is an emergency. You shouldn't be using this number. Well, then give me the other number.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I get that from the info? And if it's true that the police weren't here, well, then who are the SWAT guys I saw? And didn't they just abduct somebody? Seems like that is an emergency.
Yeah.
But does Peter Wright say that? No. Peter Wright says, okay, thank you for your time. Goodbye. Then we have to talk to our pseudo-girlfriend Christine on the computer.
Have you got to You don't know her number either, yeah?
I think we only know her through chat. It's not in my messenger. She's just really irritating. I suspect anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't want to spoil it too much, but
please don't.
Total Recall.
Uh-huh.
The wife at the beginning, Christine feels like that.
Okay.
And everything she says just seems fishy. She keeps deflecting. Mm-hmm. But also just the voice is annoying. Everything she says is annoying. The mouth movements in this game are some of the worst I have ever seen. You can see the outline of where the mouth is being animated.
Right.
It's just bad. And 45 minutes to get through all of that business.
Wow. Still got 15 minutes left, though.
Yeah, well...
It can redeem itself.
I know desperately because I've gone back and forth to the SAT car. I can't go anywhere because it's too late and everything's closed. So the only thing I've been trying to do now for about 15 minutes is get to the point where I can go to bed so I can actually do something in this game.
Right.
Have to call Mrs. Wright again. Or not Mrs. Wright, Mrs. Oswald.
Yeah.
I didn't find out anything. I'll let you know more tomorrow. Good night. Oh, now I can sleep. You don't even get a choice. You go to sleep.
Right.
Now. But what I didn't tell you is exploring his whole apartment. Everything's just depressing. Mm-hmm. Oh, this kitchen is more a bachelor kitchen. There's really nothing to do in there. Oh, this bathroom doesn't have a bathtub. The landlord should have told me. Oh, this whiskey looks so good. Oh, everything looks so quiet outside. Everything about him just sounds so mopey and awful. I hate Peter Wright. And I've only known him for an hour. I definitely try not to hate people. But, oh, Peter Wright, I am not happy with you. Maybe he becomes better later. I don't know. It's one thing in the reviews. A lot of people said that the story is interesting, but the gameplay is what stops you from wanting to play.
That's kind of a big part, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, this game is not good.
Also,
the story's good.
Some people said the voice work is good, and I would argue no. Did not enjoy that. I've not enjoyed most of this. And I talked about how long it takes to get from place to place, but I didn't talk about walking around Peter's apartment, because that is probably the worst part of... I hope it's the worst part of the game. You walk in, and now you're looking at the front door. You can see the bathroom door, the kitchen door, which you can't go in. You can just hear him mope about them. Then you can go to the closet, which you can see a bit of the kitchen door, but you can't interact with. But now you can get into the cupboard closet. You can go into both sides of that. Then you can go just a hair to the left, and you're now into the bedroom living area. Mm-hmm. But again, every little thing. If you want to look at the bedside table, that's a different screen. If you want to get over to the computer, that's a different screen. If you want to look at the TV, you have to go over towards the computer so that the TV becomes possible to see. There are about, it feels like 7 or 8 things to get around essentially one room.
Yeah. It sounds like, when you explain it to me, it's like if you want to get to this thing, you have to move through, you have to click through certain screens to get that visible so you can see it.
Yes.
That is fucking annoying, man. I hate that in games.
I can't cut straight to the bedroom. I have to go through each one of these steps to get it. So if I want to get to the TV, I have to go through all 7 to get to it. Mm-hmm. And to make this even worse, say I'm at the desk where my computer is. If I want to go from, let's say, one drawer in the desk to the other, I have to go out of the drawer, right? I can't just click on the other drawer.
Of course.
I have to go out of the drawer. So now I'm looking at the scene with my desk, tiny. It's not close up. Then click on the other drawer. Mm-hmm. My character will choose to walk all the way to the bed and then back again to open the other drawer. This is what the people complained about the most in the reviews.
Sounds like you're a giant Roomba or something.
It would make more sense if I was a Roomba. At least then I would understand why I'm making these odd...
Just bouncing off furniture.
...choices and why I'm moving in this pattern. Yes. After this, it's now daytime. Wake up, get out. I've said, I'm going to talk to Bob in the kiosk to see if he knows anything. So you go to Bob's kiosk across the street. You have a whole conversation with Bob. Well, you can. I suppose you get right to the point, but I wanted to see what Bob had to say. Mm-hmm. You can ask him about the Knicks game. This is a weird thing where apparently in 2044, So keep in mind, only 40 years ahead of when the game came out, they're assuming that we will no longer use physical players to play basketball. We'll just watch a video game version of them or something. And
Okay.
and they're saying, what was it? What team did they play? Oh, they just played the Knicks from 2034 or something.
Okay.
And Peter says, well, that should be an easy win then, because they were using old software. There's no way that they could win. And Bob says, no, the Knicks definitely lost. They lost 152 to 54 or something ridiculous. I think they're just trying to make fun of the Knicks.
Okay.
But it's just so odd. And at the kiosk, you can't buy anything. You can't even really look at anything. The only reason to have the kiosk is to talk to Bob, which is a bit weird. Did he see anything? Yes. He saw the SWAT team take the guys out. It, again, doesn't give me any more information. Why am I talking to Bob? He must come in useful later, hopefully. You can go to the park where there's one scene where there's just nothing I could click on, which is just weird. Why have a scene where I can't click on anything? Maybe later you can, but at this point, I don't see anything on the screen. So why not just get me to the screen where I can actually do something?
Sure.
In that screen, there's a hippie playing a guitar and a man shouting crazy conspiracies in the distance.
Okay.
You can talk to the hippie guy. The hippie guy is deaf but plays a guitar, and he can talk to you because he's reading your lips, according to the dialogue. He has nothing to add. This game, no one ever has anything to add. You can't actually talk to the guru. You can listen to him for a bit. You can make fun of his terrible tent that he lives in, and that's about it. Waste of time.
Okay.
You know what I couldn't do, though? Figure out how to get to work, which is the only thing I'm supposed to be doing. I can't get into the maglev train. It says, oh, no, I only do that in emergencies.
Okay.
Try to get into a SAT car. I don't know where to go. Go to work. Why is work not just a standard? And this is where the Lion Song at least would be better, because they would highlight the section and it would just be an option. Just go there.
Yeah.
To not have that, I don't know where to go. I walked around. I looked at everything. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. And the game doesn't help me. And that's where my hour finished.
It sounds pretty painful. I'm not even going to ask if you recommend this to me, because I don't think I'd play this.
Oh, I definitely recommend this to you. Play it. Play it. Play it.
I don't own this game.
You don't, unfortunately.
No.
Which means I'm going to put this video together, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you've missed out. I'm sure this bundle still exists. This is a Steam bundle. Steam bundles tend to last
come back,
longer.
Yeah. I'll make sure to avoid it then. I might pick it up for Black Mirror, though. I've been interested in the Black Mirror games. I might own the Black Mirror ones, though. So who would you recommend this to, then? If anyone?
I'm not sure I would. And in fact, I have a Steam friend, as I was looking at the store info, that said he wanted this game, and I almost want to send a message and say, don't. I just don't. But that Steam friend is very into point and click, and this is point and click. Maybe it's about trying them all.
Collecting, maybe.
And give reviews. So maybe needs to play it to review it.
Okay.
Which I would understand. If that's the case, then by all means, go ahead. But if you're getting this hoping that you'll enjoy it, I don't think you will. One of the reviews I saw wrote, if you have a walkthrough, you can maybe get through the game, but what's the point then?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fun. Moving around is not fun. I'm surprised that it's mixed. I'm surprised that it's not all negative. Which does make me wonder, does it get better?
Right.
Does it get easier once you actually have the locations in your phone or in your character's brain
once
to
you
get
can
around?
move around properly, yeah. So then that would be the next question then. Are you going to brave it again and go back?
I'm not really looking forward to that. 15 Days was better than this, and I still haven't gone back to that one.
Right.
I just don't see me wanting to do this. The voice acting wasn't good. The animation isn't good. Walking around the place doesn't feel good. Another review hinted that this was a walking sim, but as a point and click, that doesn't work. There's nothing enjoyable about walking around a scene you can see the whole thing of.
Yeah, and that you can't interact with anything properly or know where to go. Yeah. So, yeah. Tags then.
Point and click.
Mm-hmm.
I can go with aimless.
Okay.
Just because I didn't know where I was supposed to be going. Maybe unclear would be a better one, but I felt just aimless the whole time. What am I supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I got about 5 minutes of actual gameplay in the full hour of playing.
Right.
Does not feel good. And the third tag would be past future.
Yeah.
Because everything about this game, the messenger, which is dated even by the 2005 standards, 80s phones worked better than this. At least you had numbers you could dial on it.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have this. You do have a big TV, but the computer and the monitor look old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Again, even by 2005 standards. Everything about this game screams 1995 future, more Total Recall version of the future than something that should have come out in 2005. Now, again, maybe the game came out before this and only in Steam, or the way they published it says 2005, but it's not a future that looks futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a future that looks like it's already passed. Outside of the self-driving cars, which we aren't quite there yet.
Yeah.
But even that, it's like, well, yeah, that's gonna happen. But the way they do it, just, I'm gonna have to look at a sat nav and do that instead of just speaking into a microphone, which is just gonna tell. I mean, we can talk to Siri and Google and all sorts of things now. Why in the world would I have to look at the map in the car and point there?
Point and click. So, buyer's confirmation or buyer's remorse then?
This is a definite buyer's remorse.
Remorse.
Yay!